You've heard it a million times that you need TikTok to grow your Twitch. It is the best place right now for discoverability for VTubers, but you just don't know where to start. I've got tips for you. Hi, I'm Moon. I'm an artist, a live 2D rigger, a Twitch streamer, and a TikTok content creator. Recently, I've had a lot of people coming into my DMs asking for TikTok advice, and I thought it'd be easier just to compile it all in one place for everybody. As far as my qualifications to give this advice, I currently have about 25,000 followers on TikTok. You know, I'm not one of the big TikTok VTubers. However, what I do have is very consistent performance on my videos. While yes, I haven't really had a viral hit, a 1 million plus view video, anything like that, because my vids have been successful but not viral, I have been able to create a community of people who I genuinely am trying to create content for. They are my target audience, people who are converting over to my Twitch, people who are valued members of my community, people who really like my content for what it is. In addition to my success on TikTok, I also have a background in marketing. I've been able to look at VTubing and the content being created on TikTok in our space through that lens. But that's enough about me. I know what you're here for. You want tips. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer: the TikTok algorithm is constantly changing, and these tips are simply what worked for Moon. It is up to you to pay attention to current trends and adjust your content accordingly on this ever-evolving platform.
So a lot of people ask me, how long should a TikTok be? Like 15 seconds? Should it be 30? A minute? Genuinely, I don't think there is a hard or fast answer for that, because I guarantee you, if you've been on TikTok long enough, you have seen viral videos that are over a minute long. You have seen ones that are 3 minutes long. You have seen ones that are 15 seconds long. It's less about the length and more about retention rate, which retention rate is something you can look up in your analytics. It is how long someone watched the video for. What percentage of the video held the person's attention before they scrolled? That is what you are aiming for. You want a high retention rate. Now, how do you keep someone's attention if you've got a longer video? You need a good hook. It's hard to explain what a good hook is. Essentially, it's something that's going to get you invested in the video so that you don't just scroll past. You really need to pique their curiosity. You need to have a question that will be answered at the end of the video. You need to have a setup for a situation that they're curious about how it will resolve. Something to hold their attention longer if you're going to have a longer video. If it's a short video, a hook isn't as important as just having something very attention-getting right off the bat. Never, ever, ever start a video with silence. If you look at anybody's analytics, the majority of fall off is in the first milliseconds of the video. During the course of the video, your editing needs to be very snappy. And that could be a whole video in and of itself. But what I will give advice is cut out any sort of dead air unless it is crucial for the comedic timing. If you are on TikTok, you know that pretty much every user is basically an iPad baby at this point. We need instant dopamine or else we are scrolling past. Next is captions. At a baseline, they help with accessibility, which is important. But what's great about that is they actually help with the retention rate, because when there is text on the screen, we are inclined to read it. And so those first crucial milliseconds, if you have some text on the screen that you can try to get them to read, you have now created a hook, essentially. Another important thing to remember is a lot of people watch TikTok on silent. There are a lot of office workers sitting in the bathroom needing a break from their job that can't give away that they are watching TikTok right now. There's a lot of people laying in bed next to their partners watching TikTok. Like, you can use captions to add even more comedy to your videos or more context in places where it's lacking. Make note of safe areas in your video. Don't let your content hide behind UI elements such as the profile picture, the description of the video, and text at the top that can hide your videos. This is especially important because every day I see somebody post a horizontal video where their VTuber is covered up by the profile pic. And for God's sake, format it in vertical format. It's a mobile app. Do it. Next, I get a lot of questions about this. It is tags, descriptions, and bio. As far as tags go, using hashtag VTuber, hashtag VTuber clips is a good idea. Include a hashtag relevant to the content you're talking about, whether that's the game you're playing, the topic that you're speaking on. If there's any trending hashtags, you can certainly add those if your content is relevant. When you go to type in hashtags, it's gonna give you some suggested ones. People suggested this like about a year ago on TikTok, and it is something that nobody has let go of, despite the fact that I see videos constantly that are viral that don't use these hashtags. The reason that TikTok is suggesting them is because they are being paid by that advertiser to suggest it, to get you to check it out, not because it's gonna help your video perform. Hashtag FYP, in other words, for you page, it's so overused, so the algorithm's gonna pretty much ignore that. Even if I'm completely off the mark with hashtag FYP and these suggested hashtags, and they do in fact increase your chance of going viral, I still don't recommend using them. They do not tell the algorithm anything about your content, and it's basically throwing spaghetti at the wall. Don't use hashtag Twitch clips or hashtag Twitch. If you mention any other platform, there's a chance they'll suppress your video. The nature of this app is that they don't want you to leave, so they are not looking to help you promote your platforms. And as far as descriptions go, you're not gonna put "follow me on Twitch for more." You're not gonna say "link in bio." That is unfortunately something that they have caught on to. They don't like people saying "link in bio." Instead, try incorporating a graphic on your video itself with your Twitch handle, and don't just slap it on the end, as that can hurt your retention rate. Again, someone might scroll away. Just put it somewhere in the middle. There's something about TikTok where people just simply will not read the descriptions, but they will read the comment section. The comment section is a very big part of TikTok culture. They used to have a thing called pinned comments where you could pin it to the top. Pinned posts are gone at the moment. I hope they come back. If not, just comment early on your own video. Not too early, like not immediately after you post. Wait until it hits the algorithm a little bit and you start to see people like engaging with it, and then comment something to give the video more context, to promote yourself, what have you. TikTok comments are not chronological. For a recent video where chat had really good timing with some of the redeems, I literally commented that because people liked that comment. It ended up naturally pushing it to the top. However, TikTok will send any comment with a link in it to the Shadow Realm, even if it's by the creator. Again, they do not want you to leave the app. Now for the bio. Your link in your bio won't unlock until 1,000 followers. You can also get playlists at 10K followers, both of which are features that I highly recommend you start using as soon as you get access to them. You can put twitch.tv/your username in your bio. It won't hurt you. This is one place that you can talk about other apps and they don't really care. However, when you are using that link, the actual link, take them directly to the platform you are trying to grow the most. You could have your content suppressed just for having a link tree. We will talk more about the reasons for that in the ban prevention section. Card, I think, is a little less likely to flag it, but regardless, you want the least amount of clicks possible to get someone to follow you on Twitch, because ultimately Twitch is where you're monetizing. So content and trends. This is something I have people ask me about a lot. Should I do Twitch clips? Should I do popular audios and lip syncs? Depends on what your goal is. There is a place for every community, every interest, every niche of the internet is present on TikTok, just like it is on every other social media. You need to find your niche and make the content for the audience that you want to develop. Now, as far as clips versus lip syncs go, this changes all the time. When I first got into VTuber TikTok, it was a lot more people using popular audios, following TikTok trends, that kind of thing. Now, it has completely flipped. I see very little viral VTuber posts that are using popular audios and far more viral clips. From the trends that I have seen, TikTok is looking for original content. It wants to be the place where viral content originates, and they're trying to downplay audio trends. They don't translate as well outside of the app, but content that is just original and funny and viral and cool will get shared on other platforms and will bring people back to their app. This video is a little more targeted at people who are trying to grow their Twitch using TikTok. And to that, I would say, clips are king. Really, it is about creating a feeling of FOMO, that fear of missing out, that I wish I was there when this happened feeling. That is how you're going to convert people from a TikTok viewer to a Twitch viewer. One of the best ways to create that feeling of missing out on a live stream is by highlighting the ways that chat can interact with your stream. Now, that could be through funny, well-timed redeems, through highlighting chat messages, or through something that we've seen very popular on TikTok lately, which is the TTS bot, which the technology is improving all the time on those. This is my personal TTS bot. Her name is Luna. Say hi, Luna.
Hello, YouTube. I hope you're enjoying the TikTok tips.
Now, this can be a double-edged sword. If one of those videos blows up, sometimes you'll have a lot of people coming in just trying to recreate the TikTok. So just be careful, balance out your content to whatever you're most comfortable with. That's not to say that doing trends won't still go viral. I participated in this eye trend recently where I showed off some of the eye toggles I had, and that absolutely blew up, and it was not a Twitch clip. Just keep in mind that those might not have as high of a conversion rate of TikTok followers to Twitch followers, but any kind of growth on your TikTok means that you will have a higher reach for future videos where you can show clips. So there's no reason not to do it. If you've got a great idea, go for it. Next is posting time. One of the biggest keys to success on TikTok is posting at the right time. Avoid the urge to finish editing at midnight and post your video because it's done and you want people to see it. Nobody's gonna see it that late at night. You need to be posting in the late morning, early afternoon, typically. However, that does not apply across the board. You need to look in your analytics section. Go here where you see the followers and when they are active. See how there's a peak here? You're gonna wanna post before that peak. That way you have the most amount of views on your video from your actual followers. And that will give it a better chance of getting more interactions and then getting picked up by the algorithm. Frequency. Frequency is a mystery, I'll be honest. There are people who say you have to upload daily. There are people who say, my videos perform well when I haven't uploaded in a while. This is something you gotta figure out on your own and see what works best for you and your schedule. And let's be honest, you're gonna burn out really quick if you're trying to put out a ton of videos in the same week. For the majority of my TikTok career, I've posted once a week. I would say that's not enough, but daily is way too much. I would personally aim for 2 to 3 a week. In fact, if you have a stream schedule, trying to line it up to that is great. If you do 3 streams a week, try to post one right the day before or the morning of your stream. So I usually try to post the day before. The first day seems to send it to your existing followers, most of which are already going to have followed me on Twitch if they were going to do so. The second day, if it gets picked up by the algorithm, is where it gets shot out outside of your circle. And so the algorithm will be showing it to a lot of new people. That's where you get new TikTok followers, but they can also become brand new Twitch followers too. And you can greet them as they come in, and it helps with your concurrent viewers. There was a rumor going around TikTok that if you were uploading edited clips from desktop, they were actually getting suppressed. And the reason why was because they want stuff that is filmed natively in the app because it's less likely to be a repost of something from YouTube or something like that. Now, this is unconfirmed. It's 100% based on rumors, but I'm a better safe than sorry kind of person. And so I personally use Google Drive after I edit a video. I send it to my phone and I upload it from the phone. Plus, there's a bit more tools in the app anyway that there aren't on the desktop version, so I recommend it either way. One last uploading tip is that when you upload from mobile, it'll give you a link and say, your TikTok was uploaded. That link might not work yet because the video is still processing. So if you try to paste that into your Discord and ping your Discord, they might get just taken to a random video because the video isn't public yet. Go here, hit copy link, and if it says video is processing, it's not ready yet. If it says link copied, then you're good to go. So sometimes your vids will go up right away. Sometimes it might take an hour. Sometimes it might take several hours before they go up. If you find a video is stuck in processing that long, it's likely that TikTok suspects there is something in the video that is inappropriate or breaches the community guidelines. Which actually brings me to the next section, which is pretty important, especially for VTubers, because we hear this a lot, right? TikTok hates VTubers. We're constantly getting banned, we're getting suppressed. Now, I personally have had 2 videos removed for sexual content, but I have never been banned, and after seeing several of my friends go through bans, go through suppression, I think I have a pretty good idea of how to avoid it. TikTok is extremely prudish, and some of the things that will get a video removed are frankly baffling. I had a video that got removed for sexual content because I said the word penis. A lot of the innuendos and stuff are gonna be fine, but if you're directly talking about sexual acts in any way, be careful. I personally am an 18+ creator. I don't say it on my TikTok because it will just get my whole account suppressed and put me at a higher risk of being banned. Other things that may flag the system in your bio are things like NSFW. They have a big vendetta against people who have OnlyFans. As a result, it has started to flag sites like Linktree as potentially linking to OnlyFans links. I've seen some people take the censoring too far to where they are actually censoring swear words. I've actually had no issues with swear words. I say fuck all the time. I even write it out in my captions, and I've never had a video get suppressed because of that. There are, however, some words that it definitely doesn't like. I would recommend looking up the term algo speak. You will probably find lists of words that algorithms don't like. One of them, for example, is the word kill. A lot of people will say unalive instead. More things you can get banned for. Nudity, even if you're not nude, you're model. Just because something is Twitch TOS safe does not mean TikTok is going to like it. A lot of my friends who had either a lot of booba physics or low-cut tops, things with cutouts in the middle of it, have been banned for sexual content. So you may need to avoid that either by zooming in on your face, putting some kind of creative censorship over it. Next, a big reason people get banned is because there's a lot of haters on TikTok. As fun as it is to engage with the haters and to make content out of the hate contents, to clap back and just call them out for being ridiculous, they will multiply. The more attention you give them, the more they will rally and they will mass report your account. And TikTok doesn't really care about whether you actually broke the rules or not. If you get mass reported, you're probably just gonna get removed. And once you've been banned, even if you get your account back, TikTok will crack down on you hard. It will be way more critical of your content. You will get suppressed more often. It really sucks for people of marginalized groups, and it is shameful that they will punish you for standing up for yourself. But unfortunately, that's just the reality of social media algorithms. But as far as my advice from a business standpoint, not a moral standpoint or ethical standpoint, is to just block and move on to keep your account safe. Something you can do to prevent a lot of those hate comments is to go into settings and privacy, comments. You can set up filter keywords. You can also review filtered comments here. Sometimes even your own comments can end up in this section. So if you are commenting and it's like not getting any reactions, go check your filtered comments. Sometimes they're stuck in there, especially if you say something like, follow me on Twitch or follow me on Twitter. Sometimes they'll throw them in there too. The other piece of advice, this is less for growth and more just because you're a VTuber and I know you're trying to keep your identity safe, and this is something a lot of people don't know about. Go into suggest your account to others and turn off contacts, Facebook friends, people with mutual connections, people who open or send links to you. Keep on people interested in accounts like yours, because that will help you network within the VTubing community. The rest are all based in some way off of like your phone number. Another thing to be careful of, if you have a personal TikTok account, you might want to turn off that links thing in both accounts, or just be careful of which account you are sending TikToks from. When someone opens a TikTok that you have sent them, if you don't have that turned off, it'll say, this person sent you this link. Now, if you're doing that from your personal account and you post it in your Discord or send it to a VTubing friend, they might see your personal account that could have potentially doxing information. Now, this one's gonna be a quick piece of advice. It's about the creator program, the TikTok creator program. I know it can be tempting to want to monetize another platform, but you get literal pennies in this program. And every creator that I know that has joined it has said that it absolutely tanked their views when they joined it. However, I'll say that there is an exception to TikTok Live, which is a growing method of streaming that I personally do not know enough about to give you advice. So I would do your own research on that a little further. So to wrap things up, my last piece of advice is don't give up. This app can be actually brutal on your mental health. It will lift you up and then kick you down. And I just want to make it very clear that it is normal. It is normal to start off with very little views on most of your videos. It is normal to have success and then suddenly have a huge drop. Everybody goes through it on this app. But when you see a video break out and get a lot more views than you have, even if it's low compared to other creators, if it's high views for you, learn from that. Try to recreate that success, build on it. Every video, even if it didn't get a lot of views, is a learning opportunity, and it is a chance of an impression on someone that you didn't have on Twitch. There's a concept in marketing called the rule of 7, and it is that it will take 7 impressions on somebody before they will commit to buying your product, watching your content, whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do. While a lot of people will debate about the number 7 specifically, at its core, it's a good principle to follow. The more social media platforms people see you on, the more familiar they become with your content, and the more likely they are to finally commit to watching your stream, to popping into Twitch and saying hi and becoming a member of your community. I constantly have people who say, I saw you in the recommended and I remembered I'd seen you on TikTok, so I clicked in. That is the rule of 7 at work. TikTok really is the key to finding brand new viewers, people who maybe aren't even VTuber watchers at all yet. In fact, that's why I'm here. I personally was not a Twitch viewer. Like 2 years ago, did not watch Twitch. Actually discovered VTubing not through the traditional pipeline of finding HoloLive. I found it through indie VTubers on TikTok. Even though TikTok can be really discouraging at times, I promise you the payoff is worth it. You can reach people that simply you cannot reach on Twitch, and you can build a community that is around your niche, that really likes you for you and resonates with your content. And there's something really special about that. That's all the advice I have. I know this was a super long video. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section. I will try to address them. If you want to follow me on TikTok and check out my content for yourself, there's my handle, as well as all my other social links are below in the description. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Bye!